This video will not end until I make $5,000. Today is July 19th, so I really hope that you're seeing this in July or at the very least August, but however long it takes, I will be here. I really need to recover a certain punt I made out in Vegas, so let's get started. I'm walking into the poker room on an absolute mission. I'm gonna turn these Christmas colored pieces of plastic into a lot of money. The only question is, how long is it gonna take? This is gonna be a marathon, but I'm not pacing myself. The first hand I play, I felt a short stack after flopping top pair. Then I win another bounty after getting it all in pre-flop with aces. I go all in pre against the short stack again, this time with jacks. Not the best camera work, but he had ace 10 and we win another pot. None of these guys had many plastic chips to wager with, but we're up over $600 just an hour into play. Now that the shorties have been dealt with, it's time to aim bigger. And I've got big slick. I raise it up over a straddle and limp. The cutoff calls before the big blind squeezes to $200. Back on me, and this is tricky. We're too deep to just rip it, but I don't want to just call either. I go for a small 4-bet to 440. The cutoff folds and the big blind goes in the tank. It'd be great to take it down right here with all the money already out there, but instead, he goes all in. Not a great spot, but this guy is a good Euro player, and by raising so small, I left enough behind to give him room to bluff jam. I gotta call.
Sure.
2 bucks?
Yeah.
2 bucks? Don't put a jack on 2 bucks a minute.
Yeah, jacks?
Yeah.
See how.
Oh my goodness.
Well, at least we got jacks to fold, but we don't improve on that first board. Second flop gives us the nut flush draw, but nothing comes home, so if he has any pair, we're dead. But he just has ace king too. Phew, chop it up.
Reroll.
Then it's smooth sailing again. I win a couple small pots to bring my stack to 1.8k. We're 20% of the way there already. I river a set of 4s and get paid to add to the profits. Then I turn a straight and get paid again. We are absolutely flying, and the only thing that can make this better is pocket aces. A player opens, I 3-bet, guy to my left calls, maybe he has jacks again, but what's more important is the big blind cold 4-bets. All right, everybody stay calm. We're gonna do the same thing I did before with the ace king hand. I raise small, gets back to him, and he doesn't do anything for a while. 2 minutes pass before he announces his decision, which is to go all in. Hold!
Yeah. What's up?
I folded aces because I knew the run out was coming.
Let's go! There may be a better feeling in life than getting aces versus kings, but I have yet to experience it. I am running insanely pure so far. A few hands later, I get it all in with 2 pair against a straight draw. He wants to go twice and somehow hits his card on both runouts. It was a small stack though, so who cares? We're still up heaps.
I just run so bad.
I pick up ace king and 3-bet. We go 3 ways to a king high board. I keep betting and both of them still call. Turn's really good, so I size up to 350 to charge all the draws. That gets it down to heads up with the low jack, but the river's a 3rd club. I could put out another value bet, but I don't think it's worth it with the flush coming in. I check, hoping for a check back, but no. He goes all in for over 2 times the pot. Wow. I think this guy's capable of bluffing here, but how often? I mean, the only natural bluff is jack 10, and even that might fold the turn. It's such a big bet that I'd have to be good a lot to make this a profitable call. I think about it, but just let it go. Nice hand.
I don't know. It's a lot.
Then I downgrade to ace 6 and raise it up over a limp. The blinds call and the flop is not me. I try to seal it anyways, but the small blind calls. Turn comes and sometimes you gotta commit to the bit. I bet again and he calls again. Last card's a queen and look, I made it this far. I bet one last time and it works. Nice little pot coming our way, which leads us back to Ace King. I'm in the big blind and raise it up over a straddle and 2 limps. The straddle are now 3 bets and one of the limpers cold calls. We're really deep against the limper, so I need to 4-bet pretty big here. Now at the time, I expected the 3-better to fold and the limper to call, as weird as that sounds. We'd been playing for a while and this would add up. But if the straddle actually has a monster, I'm just gonna be priced into going with it if he jams. I raised to $700 and as expected, the straddle folds and the 3-seat calls. This would be a great time to flop top pair again, but instead, it's all low cards. The default strategy is to bet small now, then jam the turn and hope he folds. But I think he's gonna have a lot of stuff like Queen Jack or Jack 10 that'll stab at it if I check. So I check, trying to check jam and get some value from those hands while also getting pocket pairs like 8s to fold. But he checks back. Turn doesn't change much and my strategy doesn't change either. I want to check jam, but again, he checks back and doesn't let me. River puts another pair on the board and now I actually want it to check through, and it does. So ace high should be the winner and it is, but he has it too. The double paired board counterfeited me. I played it the only way where I don't win. If I just bet flop and jam turn, I'd have won a lot, but instead we chop it up with ace king again. Then I lose some small ones. I tried bluff catching seat 3 a couple of times, but he just seems to have it every time, despite playing a lot of hands. Makes my plan with ace king from the last hand even worse, but I'm very sure I made the right fold when he jammed the river earlier. This guy is crushing, by the way. You can't quite see it from this angle, but that's a tower of blacks back there. I think he has over $10,000 in this 2-5 game. Meanwhile, I raise up Jack 10 and 5 of us see a flop that gives us an open ender. One of the players leads out for 60 and this seems weak to me, so I raise it up to 210. He calls, it's just the 2 of us now to the king of diamonds. I do have a diamond in my hand, so we can rep that if it comes down to it. For now though, I bet 360. Would love to win it right here, but he keeps calling. River's an offsuit 5, so we still have nothing. 6-7 gets there, but that's really it. He checks with about 900 left in his stack, and I don't know, man. I just don't think he's gonna fold, to be honest. So I wimp out, I give up, and he wins with just a pair of 9s. Okay, maybe he would have folded that. My bad. There was a point in this session when I thought I was gonna win all $5,000 in just one day. But we'll have to settle for what is still a solid profit. So kind of deflating for a $1,000 win. Definitely could have been more, but a win's still a win. We'll get him again tomorrow. It's Sunday. Let's get him. We start off at 1-2 for an hour while waiting for the bigger game and turn this into this. Okay, it looks about the same, but I actually got felted in the process. So I'm licking my wounds as I sit down at 2-5. Fellas, I have 10 different ways to play ace king and none of them work. This time I've got it in the small blind. There's a raise, a 3-bet, and I just call. The hijack calls too, so 3 of us see a king high board. The button c-bet 75, I'm way under repped and just planning to call down 3 streets. Other player folds, so we're heads up to the 10 of hearts. This time he checks back and the river's another queen. It's not the best run out, but I'm still gonna put in a little value bet. I ask for $180 and he calls with ace queen. Whoops. Then the very next hand, I get ace queen myself. I raise over a bunch of limps and 4 of us see the not so heartless flop. I have the ace of hearts, so I keep betting, which gets the hijack and I down to mono e mono. Turns an offsuit 3 and he leads small. I think calling's a fine play, but it feels like he's trying to see a river for cheap with something like a small pair and a flush draw, so I try to get him out by raising to 325. And well, he's not getting out. He puts me all in. I barely have $100 left, so I have to call. We need a heart on the river, and that's not it. He wins with 6-5. I feel like he could fold the gut shot with no hearts in his hand on the flop, but what do I know? I just got belted. That puts us in the red for the challenge, so not exactly ideal. I add on for $1,000, but can't get anything going afterwards. I lose some more and realize I'm playing very poorly today, so let's salvage what we can and make up for it on Okay, objectively bad start, but I've got my lucky shirt on today. It has holes in it and it's very special to me. We go again. In for 800 on a Monday, and there is no time to waste because right away I've got pocket jacks. I raise over a straddle, 2 people call before the big blind squeezes to 175. Well, I guess the stack's going in early today. I'm all in and he calls.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
That's me. I mean, unless you're raising, once. Very happy to chop since we were crushed. Now let's play poker for real. Or not. I get ace king suited the very next shuffle. Again, I raise to 30, and again, the same exact player squeezes. Well, here we go again.
All in.
Holy shit.
What do you want to do this time? Okay, 5.
That's so sick. Oh man. Once. I keep fucking myself.
Oh my god. Holy shit. How many kings in this deck? Brutal.
Yeah.
How'd you get that lucky? Ace king was worth it.
I told you this shirt's lucky. I finally figured out how to play ace king. Just go all in while wearing your luckiest shirt and hope for the best. Well, after those first 8 minutes, nothing too exciting happened. Lost some, won others. This session puts us back in the black, but still not much progress on the 5K goal as we head into... Still coming in for 800. I know I could buy in for more, but I feel really comfortable starting out with this amount. And one of my first hands dealt is ace king. Been getting it a ton lately. This time I 3-bet from the button and only get action from the low jack. We hit top pair on a wet board and he calls another bet. Turn is extremely good and now he leads out for 125. I have about 600 in my stack and there are a lot of bad rivers. If he has a combo draw, I want to make him pay to see the last card. If he has a worse ace, I want to get the money in now if I can. And if he has me beat, nice hand. I'm all in and he thinks it over for a while. Eventually I find out he has ace queen, so it'd be a really great fold if he makes it, but instead he does call. Just gotta fade 3 outs and we do. So a full double to start off the day and honestly, just a cooler that went my way. Later I get ace 9 in the big blind. A player raises and the small blind and I call. Flop is exceptional. What makes it weird is the small blind leads out for a green chip. I just call, which keeps the hijack in as well. If the flop was exceptional, the turn is absolutely euphoric. We have the nuts. Small blind slows down and checks. My hand's so good, I don't even know what to do. I check 2 before the hijack bets 50. Small blind calls the 50, and I figure it's finally time to take an aggressive action in this hand. I raise the 185, and not only does the hijack call, but so does the small blind, so all of us see the offsuit 10 on the river. I don't have the nuts anymore, but I figure this will do just fine. I bet 430. The hijack thinks for a long time. Would be crazy if they both called, but he does eventually fold. Now it's the small blind's turn to go in the tank. If I were in his shoes, I really wouldn't know what to think of this action. Seriously, what was I even doing in this hand? But confusion's a strong move in Pokemon, and it works here too as he ends up calling and showing an ace. Incredible start, and we play a double board PLO bomb pot shortly after. My hand is very shitty, and the flops do nothing to change that. But after it checks all the way through, we turn the nuts up top. Still though, straights aren't that strong in this game, especially when so many cards could change things on the river, so I check. The button bets the pot, I call, and so does the 3 seat. Not many good rivers up top, but that is a perfect one. A 4th 7 comes on the bottom, so we've got the nuts on one and 7's full of 4s on the other. I figure someone has a better pocket pair though, so I want to fold these guys off a chop. I pot it. First player folds, but the button decides to call. So I figure we're chopping, but he just has 2 pair up top and ace high on the bottom. We scoop. I'm not sure if he knew you have to play 2 cards from your hand, but I don't really care. Today is going bizarrely well. Things are chill for a while before I pick up ace 7 in the big blind an hour later. I call a raise from the button and we flop top 2. He bets, I raise, and he calls. The offsuit 9 should be fine and I ask for $165 this time. He obliges and the deuce of hearts is a picture perfect river card. It'll be really tough for him to fold a big ace. I bet $385. He doesn't like it, but does eventually pay it off, and I'm up nearly $3,000 on the day. Definitely not doing anything impressive, but it's so fun to run this good and get value every time. I pick up 6-7 offsuit on the straddle. The small blind raises and I call, so it's just me in the 1 seat again, but the flop this time is a far cry from 2 pair. With the gutter to the nuts though, I call a c-bet. Turn gives us more outs, so when he bets 60, I make another call. Unfortunately, we brick out on the ace of hearts, but when one door closes, another one opens. He fires out $100, a small bet. Dare I say a block bet? Now, technically I need 2 hearts to have a flush and I'm only holding 1, but don't forget about the massive one in my chest. I raised to 365, almost identical to my river bet with 2 pair earlier. He looks like he's folding, then it looks like he's calling, and finally, there's the fold. Come on, King of Hearts exposed. What a perfect day of poker. I lose a tiny bit back, but wind up racking up a profit of over $3,000 from an $800 buy-in. Just awesome. I wanted to keep playing and try to finish the job. I mean, it's still light outside. It's definitely early, but I got like 2 hours of sleep last night. So I'm just going to call it here and try to finish the job tomorrow. Okay, I still didn't get much sleep, but the number to beat is 1270. So gonna try my best to get up to 5K today. I got my lucky shirt on. Let's go. I got to the poker room early, but somehow there wasn't a single 2-5 game running until afternoon. Usually there are a couple games running already before that, but let's try to make the most of a slow day. I lose a couple hundred, so I add on a couple hundred. Then, when that's not enough, I add on another 200. I also paid for time. By the way, I'm tracking each time purchase throughout, even if I don't mention it. It's included in the profit totals each day. But man, some days, nothing ever happens. And this is one of those days. Very bad action, and my cards were even worse. I'll go over just one hand. I raise up pocket queens over a straddle and limp. We go heads up to a very dry flop and he calls 25. The turn's a king and he leads out for the same amount. Okay, sure, I call. Rivers is 6 and he puts out another small bet. I call and find out he limp called with ace king. I mean, fair enough, but I'm just gonna call it a day after 4 hours of this. Lost a decent chunk, but that's alright, cause now it's... We start at 1-2 and turn this into this. Got some momentum going as I get called for 2-5. Let's close it out this time. I get off to a slow start though, so I add on a little bit before getting even with this hand. Then I get up by hitting a flush with this one, and even more after turning trips with this one. Things are going well until I hit an inflection point, ace 5 suited. I 3-bet from the cutoff and get 2 callers. The flop is dry and I try to win it easily, but the original raiser calls. Turn gives us a flush draw, so we gotta keep trying. I bet 250, but again, it's not gonna be that easy. Going into the river, my plan is to go all in on any card that's not a queen, because that's probably what he has. But the ideal river looks something like the 9 of clubs. Bink. Well, after he checks, there's only one thing left to do.
All in.
Super lucky, and let's be real, I've been lucky all week.
Runner.
Yeah, it's taking me like an hour to drink this Corona.
Yeah, you're right
So,
on
yeah,
pace.
it's really.
You're right
it
on
is
pace.
bad.
Yeah.
It is bad. Yeah, but 1 per hour.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. No.
We're really close to the target now, and I try to spike a sneaky monster with this hand by calling a big squeeze, but shockingly, only flop 4 high. I also had to pay for time, so we're getting further away from the goal. It would be so sick to go on a downswing right now, and maybe I want to, because I 3-bet Jack 9 offsuit. The worst part is I'm doing it against the best player at the table. He calls, and the flop is super dry, so like before, I try to take it down the easy way. He calls though, and the turn's another deuce. Okay, let's pretend I have aces. I put in another bet. It still doesn't get the job done, but the river gives us a shot to rep more strong hands. I put in one last bet and he thinks about it, asks his neighbor for advice, doesn't get any, and reluctantly folds.
He doesn't have a deuce. Damn, bitch!
To be fair, I didn't pull off anything crazy, he just had ace high. But now we're super close to the 5K again, and I pick up a monster. I raise, next player calls, and the 2-seat 3-bets. I'm gonna play it slow since we're really deep, and losing a big pot this close to the finish line would be a disaster. Seat 9 calls too, so 3 of us get to see me flop the nuts. Man, am I running hot. The button c-bets 150, and even with top set, I'm not gonna slow play any longer. There are a lot of draws, and he might even have an overpair. I triple his wager, and he calls. There are some bad turns out there, but the 5 of hearts is not one of them. With what's already in the pot, I can finish the challenge by winning right now. But who knows, maybe I can get it all. My hands are literally shaking as I carve out a stack of $935 and slide it forward. He quickly folds though, so no more value for the nit who didn't 4-bet pocket queens. The stack has grown to over 3.2K and I am ecstatic. I play for a little while longer, but I'm playing scared. Keeping pots small to not go under my threshold, and there's really no place for that in this game. Let's rack up another big win to put a bow on this challenge. And as happy as I was to make 5K playing 2-5 in just 6 days, I wasn't finished. I started over the very next day with the goal of playing every day until I made $10,000, not counting the 5 from this video. And what happened next? Well, if I didn't record it, you wouldn't believe it.